Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome. I'm Cyriel Martin, Communication Officer, and I'm very glad to see you again. As you've just seen with this very short video clip, the idea of this webinar today is to give you a taste of the upcoming Rail Data Forum 2024 that will take place in Verona, in Italy, on the 18th and 19th of June. So the Rail Data Forum is a conference, the first of its kind for the agency. It aims at promoting collaboration and awareness among data and railway professionals. We would be really delighted to see you there. You can register to participate in the conference at any time during this webinar or while watching the replay by scanning the QR code that appears on most of the slides. For those watching us live, I have also posted the registration page link in the chat. So, to encourage you to join us in Verona, we have with us today Joseph Doppelbauer, the Executive Director of the agency, Chris Carr, the Head of the Operational Data Unit at ERA, Jan Semandi, Policy Officer within the Rail Safety and Interoperability Unit of DG Move, European Commission, Matthias van den Auwele, Team Lead Data Centricity at Infrabel, the Belgium Rail Infrastructure Manager, and Gilles Peterhans, Secretary General of UIP, the International Union of Wagon Keepers. Thank you all for being here. Before we proceed, I would like to draw your attention to our website. If you visit it, you will find a lot of information about the conference. One page is dedicated to the conference itself, with all practical information you might need, the content, the venue, registration fees, etc. Another page is devoted to the complete agenda. You will find there all the speakers, presentations, sessions, and workshops. We update this agenda as information is confirmed. Lastly, if you're watching us live, you can ask any questions in the webinar chat. If you are watching the replay, feel free to write to the conference organizing team at Rail Data Forum 2024 at era.europa.eu. Now, without further ado, it's my pleasure to give the floor to Joseph Doppelbauer, the Executive Director of ERA. Please, Joseph.
Merci beaucoup, Cyriel, and good morning, everyone, also from my side. Ladies and gentlemen, many thanks for joining our webinar that is intended to be a teaser for the upcoming Rail Data Forum that will be held in 3 weeks' time in Verona. Rail is the most environmentally friendly mode of transport and one of the safest. However, on the downside, we have the very high cost of railway investment and operation. We have its vulnerability against disturbances and specifically in Europe, the fragmentation into national systems that seriously hampers cross-border train traffic. Today, we are, as a matter of fact, in the middle of a transformation of the railway system that we can rightfully call the digital transformation. This digital transformation will create a digital railway system, and we at the European Union Agency for Railways have embarked on this transformation as part of our strategic agenda. One of the sponsors or rapporteurs of the ERA Digital Roadmap, Gilles Peterhans of UIP, is with us this morning. As an offspring of this action, in 2023, we have created an operational data unit in the agency headed by Chris Carr, who will also speak today. The digital transformation of the railway network can be compared to another significant transformation of rail that happened around 50 years ago, the electrification. Just to remind you, electrification brought with it locomotives of higher power, enabling longer and heavier trains, higher speed and faster acceleration, one main operation, much longer range, and significantly higher availability of locomotives. The railway network, and you can see a schematic on the slide, this network creates vast amounts of data. These data can be collected, analyzed, and used for different purposes. Data provide information to users, for instance, about delays, construction sites, train paths. Data also provide important information to operators. Data can support planning of operations and maintenance. Data help to reduce equipment downtimes improve availability, and optimize maintenance schedules. Data can lead to automatic actions, and ultimately, with digital twins, we can employ these for a number of purposes supporting decision making. A priori, data do not know borders. In the digital transformation of the railway system, it is therefore extremely important not to create any artificial borders or silos. At ERA, we are working to make rail data accessible via semantic technologies and also by building a common rail ontology and on connecting the various parts of the railway system based on standardized communication in line with the telematics TSI. All these aspects will be covered in Verona. Today, we will just give you an outline so that you know what you can expect from ERA's first Rail Data Forum. And with that, I hand back the floor to our moderator, Cyril Martin. Cyril, please take over.
Thank you very much, Joseph. It's now my pleasure to give the floor to one of the speakers of the conference, Jan Semandi. Please, Jan, floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much. So as you know, Europe strives for an ecological transition and improved connectivity, and that's the digital modernization of the rail system, which is at the heart of this ambition. Therefore, digitalizing the rail system is not just about adopting new technologies, but it also represents a profound transformation of both the rail infrastructure and rail services. With that, we aim at making rail transport safer, more efficient, and more environmentally friendly. To that effect, we have identified some key areas for this digital transformation. First, as mentioned by Joseph earlier, is the semantic of data for the Union rail system, which will be achieved through common ontology. It provides for a common framework for understanding and interpreting data across different systems and stakeholders. With such standardization, we would actually standardize the meaning and the structure of the data, and the semantics will allow to ensure interoperability, accuracy, and consistency. This will enable seamless data sharing and integrations, and it will foster transparency and trust. Therefore, semantics supports the development of smarter, more efficient rail services, while it provides and promotes for data fairness and accessibility across the Union rail system. Then is the enhancement of rail interoperability in data sharing, relating in particular to telematic application. And this provides for harmonized digital communication and for interoperable digital system. It relates first to capacity management, train preparation, and traffic management, for which it does not only reduce delay and human errors, but also increase the capacity of existing line, offering a solution to infrastructure saturation. This also relates to the management of freight, which allows to optimize the rail logistic chain. Another crucial aspect is the passenger experience, where digitalization enables the development of smart services for users, such as integrated ticketing system, real-time information on schedule and delays, and mobile application for simplified travel management. All these innovations make rail transport more attractive, more competitive, and user-friendly. So, in a nutshell, all those crucial topics will be addressed at the Rail Data Forum in 2024 in Verona, and I am very looking forward to see you all there to discuss those crucial topics. Many thanks.
Thank you very much, Jan. Looks exciting, looks promising. What about you now, Matthias? Matthias van der Auwele. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. It's my pleasure. Thanks. So I just recalled the audience. You're a team lead data centricity at Infrabel, the Belgium Rail Infrastructure Manager. Please, Matthias, tell us what we can expect from your participation to the Rail Data Forum.
Yeah, so I'm very honored to have two presentations actually at the Rail Data Forum. So I will try to use that time as efficiently as possible. And my first presentation will be all about challenging a bit the status quo that we currently have in data engineering. So I think that we are actually hurting our future selves with what we are doing now, with the way we develop our software systems. And it's just not just in the rail industry, but it's in every industry. And that's a bit what I would like to put on the table and explain that this idea of semantic technology, this linked data, is actually all about standardization. And okay, standardization, it's not a very interesting or cool topic, but imagine that our installations that we use to build the railway infrastructure, imagine that we would have a lot of custom components in there, which we do, of course, but we try to avoid that. We try to standardize, but those are installations that functioning last for centuries. And a lot of the same goes for our data systems. The data is always going to be there, always needs to be there. The software systems around them, they evolve, but the data systems, the data itself doesn't really evolve. So we can go about it like artists, and that might be a cool thing. An artist can always put something of themselves inside of the systems, and then we can say, okay, look at the artwork that I created. This is a piece of me, and that's very cool, but it's not helping the future industry because it's not standardized. So that's actually a little bit of what linked data is about, standardization. Now I say it's a pretty dull concept, so that's my explanation for management. When I'm going about explaining linked data, managers most of the time like dull ideas, dull concepts. I'm a little bit from the other side. I'm not a manager. I'm just a team lead, and I'm also a data engineer. So I'm not going to explain in my first presentation only the dull things. I'm also going to give you a couple of cool things about this linked data standardization. Actually, what you can do with it, what comes free out of the box. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about sharing this knowledge to the audience. And then in my second presentation, I'm going to give you an overview of the data strategy at Infrabel. Well, at least the data strategy of the part of Infrabel of which I'm responsible for. But we are in the process of aligning that for the entire company. So it will give you a window on the future of Infrabel, actually. So yeah, pretty excited and looking forward to seeing you all at Verona. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matthias. Also sounds very promising, very interesting. Floor is now to you, Gilles Peter Hans. So I recall you're Secretary General of the UIP, International Union of Wagon Keepers. So Gilles, tell us why we should come and listen to you in Verona.
I mean, Cyril, you will be there, so I don't need to tell you, but probably to the audience why they should come. No, good morning, everyone. Joseph said it. I'm as a part or member of the management board. I'm involved in this data topic since a couple of years together with Chris. And it has been a strategic topic for the agency, but it is a strategic topic. I think also Matthias said it, for the rail stakeholders since almost a decade now. And to be honest, I think in a decade we didn't make many progress. So my keynote speech would be about what we think and the way we think about data, to remove the fears. To remove the fears, because data and digitalization is in fact also a transformation. And when you say transformation, you say also innovation, and it's not something which we are very familiar in rail. So it's to address also, and thank you, Matthias, for the many words which you use, which probably 75 or 80% of the people in our rail industry never heard about. So I think there is a part which is the technical part. I will let you, Matthias, deal with that. I will deal more with the strategic and the general part, trying to break down the walls in order to facilitate then the exchange of data. For us at UIP, we have always said we need to turn digitalization into performance. And at the end, that would be the part of my second speech then, of the who is data holder and which data do we have, which data do we need, how to organize the governance. And then also to report about a little bit about UIP, about the freight wagon keepers. So I will have a focus on the rail freight, of course. What we do, how we manage data, and perhaps also showcase some of the steps we had to make to come up with a platform to exchange data for free, which is still in use today and quite in use today. And also to highlight the need for data. For example, if we speak about seamless freight, if we speak about having also the connection of rail freight with the other modes, so intermodality, that's also a topic where we need to align, where there are also legislative proposals which exist, or even laws which exist, which probably Jan knows as well, for which we need then to make the link, and we need to use a vocabulary which is common, which is not common in rail. That's our, we are very good at that, developing a new vocabulary, but we need to have something which is, let's say, usable outside of rail, and which allow us, let's say, as rail stakeholder, to communicate with the outside world also. But first we have, of course, the internal data, and then we have the way to communicate with the other parties in transport, because we are only one of the modes of transport. If I speak about rail freight, we don't do door-to-door most of the time. So two topics, a more strategic topic about a keynote on the fear of data and the way to overcome it, and the other one of need for data, availability of data, and governance of data. So I think with this and with all the other speakers, we will have a great event over 2 days with the agency, and thank you for the agency, to the agency for organizing it. Cyril, floor is back to you.
Thank you very much, Cyril, and indeed, it will be a great and interesting event. So really, we really invite you to register, because you will enjoy it, really. Chris, now the floor is yours. You're the big master of this conference, and you also happen to be the head of the operational unit, operational data unit at ERA. So please, Chris, tell us more about this whole project. What do you want our attendees to learn and to take away from this conference? Please, Chris.
Thanks, Cyril. And I don't know if I'm the master of the conference, but certainly the team is organising it, and we are super grateful to the speakers who've given their time to join us today, but also in Verona. And I know I've seen presentations in the past from Matthias and Jan and Gilles, and they are honestly worth travelling to see. What we're hoping to do, and we have many other speakers also, what we're hoping to do is really for the agencies to start a little bit of the debate at our level, because we know that there's a huge amount of innovation going on across the rail sector in different companies, different organizations. Matthias and Infrabel, we know Infrabel's doing a huge amount, and I think last couple of weeks I was in Cologne looking at how companies are using data and digitalization for condition-based asset management. And I think there's so much happening in this field that we really wanted to be sure that from our side, we didn't inadvertently create new barriers, that we were developing in different ways without standardization of it, as Matthias said. And we wake up one day and realize that we've actually got systems now that don't talk to each other. We've introduced new barriers. So I think there's an element of that we want to discuss. I fully share Matthias's view. There's a huge potential that we haven't unlocked yet. That I think if we organize ourselves differently, if we approach the topic differently, I think we can do a huge amount in rail with the data that we have and the way we work together. So I think that from the Verona conference, we're hoping to start that debate to make a bit the connections between the different areas of work. We've also, I was really nice to see Matthias's job title as team lead data centricity, and we are also, as an agency, as you know, Cyrielle, we took a board decision with Gilles' support, of course, to become data centric. So we were really trying to organize ourselves in that way, and I think so that I think for us is important, and it's important that we're a small part as an agency. We're a small part of the ecosystem. But we want to be sure that we're adding to the progress and not in some ways lagging or blocking progress. So for a lot of the things that we're doing with our data impact rail organizations, and we'd like to be sure that we are doing that in a positive way. And listen a little bit to the feedback. There's going to be a good chance to exchange between the different people participating. So I suspect not everybody's on the same page. There are clearly different views, and I think it's going to be interesting to participate in those discussions. And then, of course, a chance, if you like the speeches of Matthias and Gilles, you'll have a chance to grab them during some of the networking sessions and learn a bit more also. So we picked Verona because we're doing some work on the Brenner Corridor, and it's at the end of the Brenner Corridor. So I think that's the venue is good. I think it's going to allow us time to exchange. What else to say about the conference? Why should people go? Honestly, I think because I'm an old mechanical railway engineer, if you can master the language of semantic data, you're going to be cool. You're going to be one of those cool people in the room. So that's another reason to go, to learn a little bit and to catch up on that, so that you're not left behind in the discussion when it starts to happen. That's my pitch, Cyrielle.
Thank you very much, Chris. We didn't receive questions in the chat. Well, just one, but it has been answered directly in the chat. It was about the possibility of live streaming during this conference. So yeah, first day will be web streamed, but then workshops, of course, not, because the intention of a workshop is precisely to trigger live discussions. If you have any questions, if you're watching us afterwards in replay, you can ask any questions you want via the functional mailbox, which is Rail Data Forum 2024 at era.europa.eu. And well, now I would just like to warmly thank you for being here today. So Joseph, before Chris, Jan, Matthias, Gilles, thank you very much for being here for this webinar, and of course for being in Verona on the 18th and 19th of June. And in the backstage, I would also like to thank Said Rajput for his support. And we now look forward to meeting you again at one of our upcoming events and trainings. So just be informed that as of tomorrow and until the 10th of June, the agency is organizing an organizational just culture training that is open to rail professionals and safety specialists. Then don't forget, that was the topic of the previous webinar, that the 31st of May is the deadline to apply for the Women in Rail Award 2024. So if you're interested, you can visit our website. On the 14th of June, there is another deadline that might interest you. This is a new information that we published very recently. In anticipation of the 4th edition of the Cybersecurity in Railways conference that is scheduled in October in Lille, ERA and ENISA, our sister agency dedicated to cybersecurity, have launched a call for speakers. So if you want to present there, you can send us an email with your proposal. If you're interested, all practical information is available on our website. Don't miss it. On the 18th of June, there will be another safety leadership training in Valenciennes. So registration is open for that one. And then last but not least, our Rail Data Forum. I think you understood that you could register now. So if you're interested, please do it. And I'm using my hammer. Having said that, if you would like to stay updated on our activities, you can always check our website and sign into our database by selecting the button login on our website page. And you can, of course, follow us whenever you can and you want on our social media accounts, X and LinkedIn. I warmly thank you for your presence and attention today, and I wish you a very good day and week. Bye.